Good afternoon. Welcome to downtown Danbury and the taste of Greater Danbury. Not as a beautiful day as yesterday, but if the rain holds out, it'll be another fantastic day at City Center Danbury. I thank you for coming out to this event. All summer long, we've provided you with free music and entertainment every Friday and Saturday. Our Taste of Danbury is a culmination of our efforts over all summer long, and thank you so much for being here. Our major sponsors are Union Savings Bank, Comcast, and Ventura, Rivera, and Smith. We could not have provided any of this entertainment without them and the support of our other sponsors. We have booklets available for you to look to see who our sponsors are, as well as schedules all around. We have record attendance here yesterday. I don't know if you were here. And we also have record attendance with our food vendors, business vendors, and nonprofit organizations. So please do take the time to check in and visit with them. It's just a wonderful thing to have everyone here downtown. Also on Friday this past weekend, we unveiled the museum in the streets. There's 21 illustrated historic panels that line Main Street describing the great history of our community. So if you have any time today, just take a little walk up Post Office Walk, and anywhere you turn, you'll see one of those panels. This afternoon, we're going to open with our national anthem with Curtis T. And here he is right now.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare rumbled bursting in air, came through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of love, the
Thank you, Curtis. Curtis is an example of the plethora of talent that we have in our community when it comes to musical talent and everything else. And we try really hard at City Center to support our local artists. I also want to invite you to stay for the rest of the day. We're here till 7 o'clock, and our headline performer at 2 o'clock is the Marshall Tucker Band. New this year also, we have the Ives Street Side Stage. We'll be having a magic show there shortly after 1 o'clock if you look at your schedules, and that side stage is located right over there on Ives Street. Starting today's program, we have the Walk of Honor. This is another great story in Danbury. A few years ago, Mary Teicholz approached us and asked if there was something that she could do to acknowledge the work and that our veterans do, past and present, for our country. And it's evolved and it's turned into this really nice community tradition, I'd like to say at this point. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Mary Teicholz.
Well, good morning or good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 3rd annual Walk of Honor. What a crowd. It's great, and someone was listening to us. The weather's holding out. So without further ado, I would like to ask Chief Harold to please have the color guard present the colors. Today we have an extremely special treat because we have John Esposito will be leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. For those of you who know John, you know he's a permanent fixture in Danbury. We couldn't love him more. He's a gentleman. He's like no one I've ever met in my life, and I'm so grateful that he agreed to do this. On top of all that, he is a World War II veteran. He received the Purple Heart and was at Iwo Jima. And if that isn't enough, today is John's birthday. So we're not only celebrating Danbury, we're celebrating John Esposito.
Put your hand over your heart and be thankful for the world's greatest city, Danbury, Connecticut. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Curtis did a wonderful rendition of our national anthem to kick off the day, but we also have another singer singing the national anthem today, so how lucky are we? And I'd like to welcome Amy Keenan to present the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave. Our blessing today will be said by Rabbi Clifford Liebrock from the United Jewish Center.
Thank you very much, Mary. Almighty God, Master of the universe, out of the depths of despair, we call out to you. Our ears ring with the words, Al tira, do not be afraid, but often our stomachs churn with the acid of doubt. Determined to preserve our world from the tyranny of terrorism, we turn to you for answers, for values, for strength. On this gray day in September, we stand before you with respect and awe for those men and women who were summoned to protect and secure our nation and our world. To those who have returned, we welcome them in penetrating gratitude and awe. Give us the strength and perception to let them know in ways clear and enduring that their sacrifice and valiant courage in the face of the enemy has earned our undying devotion and profound thanks. For those yet on the battlefields across the globe, give them the courage to meet the chilling stare of death. Show compassion to them as they seek to make the world safer for us and for those we love. Ease the pain of their loneliness as they face the darkness of their daunting task. Let them feel your presence, O God, as you warm the chill of their souls with the blanket of your light. Help those far from the comfort of home to find value and meaning in their mission, that their sacrifice not be an empty act. Let them sense the yearning of those who await their return and long for their presence, their loved ones, their parents, their children. Protect them when they find themselves in harm's way. Salve their wounds with your healing balm. And above all, O God of righteousness, grant them victory over the forces of darkness, tyranny, terror, and treachery. Melech Hafetz B'Chaim, O King who desires life, protect those who yet pursue the enemy with your merciful care. And give us here the spirit and the power, the sensitivity and foresight to acknowledge in word and deed the sacrifice these soldiers have performed, that we and others may live in peace and freedom, in dignity and security. These are your values, Almighty Father, of us all. And these men and women of valor have been nothing less than your agents. Yes, your angels doing your will. Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi. And to welcome us all to the Green today, I would like to say hello to Mayor Mark D. Boughton, who also served in the Army Reserves from 1983 to 1989.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's my pleasure to be here on the Green for this wonderful event, but also for really just what's been an outstanding Taste of Danbury weekend. Last night we had a little over 10,000 people was our best estimate here on the Green for the concert and the fireworks. Fantastic night, and we'll have a great day today. I'd like to take a moment to, first of all, welcome everybody that's here who's an elected official. There's so many of them, I don't think we can name them all, but we appreciate your support for this wonderful event. But there's one elected official that I do want to recognize, and she doesn't necessarily get recognition as an elected official all the time, but she's the person that put this event together. She's the person that had the passion and the belief in our armed forces, in particular, all of those men and women across this great country of ours and spanning the globe defending the cause of liberty. those past, those present, and those in the future. And that's Councilwoman Mary Teicholz, who has taken this project to another level. Mary, thank you on behalf of the entire city of Danbury for what you've done. On our 325th birthday, there's no better way to spend this day than to honoring the men and women of our armed forces. Thank you for being here. God bless you. And God bless America. This is the greatest country on earth, and don't you ever forget it. Welcome.
Our next speaker is Jessica Rice, and Jessica is a student at Broadview Middle School, and she entered the Americanism essay contest for the Elks, and she won second in the state. So we've asked Jessica to share her essay with us today.
The American Dream, what is it? The American Dream consists of three basic elements that are all linked together: hope, opportunity, and prosperity. The first is hope, which is the seed of the dream. The second element, opportunity, is having a fair chance to carry out that dream. Last but certainly not least is prosperity, or the ability to improve yourself. None of these elements alone can stand as the American dream. Without hope, people would never feel the need to want anything more for themselves or their families. Just because you want a better life doesn't mean you're going to get it. In America, there is the opportunity to have an education and a career. However, it is up to you to choose to take it. Prosperity may be the outcome of opportunity and hard work. No one else but you decides how well you will succeed in life. While the American dream starts out like any other dream, what makes it different is that it can come true. If it weren't for the American dream, people would feel no need to move to America. My grandparents and great-grandparents came to this country to pursue the American dream, and that is why I am here today. Thank you.
And this is what our soldiers are fighting for. Like, she's amazing. Now I would like to welcome Rob Simmons. He will be giving us some remarks. And he is a retired colonel from the United States Army Reserves.
Thank you, Mary, and thank you, everybody, for coming out today for our men and women in uniform and for our veterans. I am a Vietnam veteran, and I'm proud to have spent 37 years, 7 months, and 24 days in the U.S. Army. Hoo-ah! But most of all, I'm proud to be an American. Are you proud to be an American? Proud to be an American. 9 years and 1 day ago, our great nation was viciously attacked by people who do not respect our values, our freedom, our democracy, our liberty. But on that day, when many thousands came down and out of the World Trade Center, others in uniform went in and went up. Our brave firemen and our policemen. I am proud of those firemen and policemen. Are there any fire police in the crowd here today? Raise your hands. Raise your hands. Thank you for your service. Thank you for keeping our communities and our people safe. They also hit the Pentagon that day, and soldiers in the Pentagon died. But in a very short period of time, they responded. They went into Afghanistan and they chased Osama bin Laden out of his cave, and a couple of years later pulled Saddam Hussein out of a spider hole. When the men and women in uniform in the United States Army are on the march, terrorists beware! It is the men and women in uniform that defend our Constitution, which was framed in the name of we the people. It is the men and women in uniform who defend our Bill of Rights, that give us the freedom to speak, to assemble, to publish and print, and to be secure in our homes. It is the men and women in uniform who give us the opportunity, as we did today, to pledge allegiance to a flag, to a nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And it is the men and women in uniform who we honor today. Those who serve or have served in the U.S. Army, are there any in the audience? Please raise your hand. Thank you for your service. U.S. Navy, please raise your hand. Thank you for your service. Air Force, U.S. Marine Corps, Hooah! Coast Guard or Merchant Marine, thank you for your service. Over 230 years ago, our forefathers and foremothers fought for a nation, for freedom, for separation from Great Britain, to be free, to establish a constitution in the nation in the name of we the people, not a king or an ayatollah or a potentate. And they fought for that. And they didn't hire mercenaries to fight for them. And from that time forward, we have always relied on our volunteers, because you see, the most precious thing that we give to defend our nation and our freedom and our democracy is not our tax dollars, it's not our high-tech weapons, our R&D. The most precious thing we have to defend our nation is our sons and daughters, our brothers and sisters. And for all those who serve us here today and into the future, I say, God bless them. God bless you all. God bless America.
Wow, he almost makes me want to join the service if I wasn't so old. I'm going to share a story with you. My son is in the Army National Guard, and as a family we went to pick him up from it's called OSUT training. That's where they have basic training and then their additional training, and my son happens to have MP training. We went to the graduation, and we get there and we're standing in line outside of the auditorium waiting to go in, because you know the Army's motto, hurry up and wait. They're not kidding. And we stood there and we got to meet parents from all walks of life, from all over the country. And you're sharing stories, and we realized we were saying each other's first names. Well, that's not going to do any good because nobody in the Army uses first names. So then we had to introduce ourselves by our last names, and then we're like, I know your son, I know your daughter, I've heard the stories. And we heard many stories, and some of them were quite amazing, like, you know, somebody who beat down a bear with a log, and, you know, throwing up after being in the gas chambers and then running into a tree. So you hear all these stories and you get very close to the young men and women whose stories you've heard over and over again. And then they finally let you go inside, and it's just a sea of green because they were all in their dress uniforms for Family Day. And so you're looking for your children, and my husband says, I think I found him, I think I found him. And we ran up and we took about a dozen pictures. Well, we found out later it wasn't my son, but we've kind of bonded with this young man. Then we go inside and they start playing a video for us of all the things our children had accomplished. My son couldn't put his dishes in the dishwasher before I saw this video, so I was shocked. So when you're able to see them in the gas chamber, you see them rappelling off buildings, going under barbed wire, you're in awe, you're amazed. How can this be my child? How did this happen? You're proud. It's an unbelievable feeling. And with everything that happens, you're building a tighter bond with the parents and the children. Then it comes to a point where they give out awards, and my son happened to be one of the people who got an award. And he was standing up on stage in front of everyone. And of course I run up the aisle and I'm standing there, and they announced his name and I yell out, "Yay, Billy!" and I'm crying. So the woman next to me yells out, "Yay, Billy!" And she's crying. Well, we're all crying for each other's children because no longer are they just ours, they're everyone's. We're a family now. It's different. It's like nothing I've ever experienced. And then when we couldn't be there and be that structure that held our children together, they held each other together. And that bond, I think, is absolutely everlasting for them, where we weren't their safety net anymore. So, I guess my point being is that here we have these people who have always protected us and still protect us, and we need to always keep in mind that when they get back, we need to take care of them. So, thank you, and please remember all of that. And we also have one more singer for today, and her name is Maria Listacco, and she'll be singing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairie to the ocean white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Maria also attends Broadview Middle School, so we're very lucky. In conclusion, I just have to thank some people who helped put this all together. I'd like to thank City Center Danbury and the Elks Lodge 120 for co-sponsoring this event. And to all our speakers and singers, they were wonderful. I couldn't have asked for anyone better than they all were today. To the Danbury Council of Veterans for their taps and honor guard, thank you. And to the Danbury Fire Department for also supplying us with an honor guard. John Newmuller, who dedicates his time to taping this every year and makes us CDs so we can put them on our website and hopefully get them to our troops in Afghanistan and Iraq so they can see that we're here and we're thinking about them and all of our collective arms are around them. Also a thank to Deb and Jerry Kemlaj and Lisa Knapp for helping me with all the copies and all that. And to my husband and son, my husband for being a computer guru, and my son for just being him. And of course, for all of our vets. I just want to say thank you. It doesn't seem like it's enough. It doesn't even seem like this is enough. So we're going to walk a mile, and we know it's not a mile in your shoes, but it's our way of saying thank you.